Okay, with one-step equations, this should all be reviewed because you spent some time doing it in 6th grade without integers, and then you worked on it again in 7th grade. So our goal when solving equations is to get the variable by itself. So we're trying to figure out what that variable is equal to. So whenever you're solving an equation, whether it's a 1-step, a 2-step, a 3-step, a 4-step, a 5-step, no matter how many steps it is, your goal is always going to be the same. You want to get the variable by itself. So we do this by using inverse operations. So what's inverse mean? If I'm telling you have to use inverse operations, you have to know what inverse means. So what does inverse? Not just, no? So if I tell you add, what do you think you're going to do? Subtract. So what's inverse mean?
Opposite.
The opposite. So whatever is there, you're going to do the opposite of. Okay? You're going to move things away from the variable. So what's a variable? This is twice I've said variable, but if we don't know what it is, okay, your variable is your letter or your unknown. Okay, so remember our goal is to get the variable by itself. We're going to do that by using inverse operations, and we're going to move things away from the variable. Okay, so look at the first addition one. X plus 3 equals 7. So I need to get the variable by itself. So I always like to box the variable because then I know that needs to stay put. I'm not moving the variable. Okay? I also draw a line through the equal sign because with an equation I have two sides. I think of it as a balance. I got to keep both sides equal. Okay? So now I have this side and I have this side. I need to get the variable by itself. So what do you think I'm going to do?
Add 3 plus... No, subtract 3 minus 7.
Subtract 3, because I have to do inverse operations. But if I subtract it from one side, I have to do it to both sides. You have to show that you're doing it on both sides. I said this should be review.
You said 6 though.
You did it in 6 too. So x is equal to 7 minus 3? 4. So there would be my answer. You're just doing the opposite operation. Okay, let's look at the second addition one. Draw your line, box your letter. Now what am I going to do? Okay, I got to do the opposite. So it's already a negative 5. I agree with your 5. You always have to move the number that's on the same side as your letter. So I agree with the 5, but it's already a negative 5. So it's the opposite of a negative 5. Positive 5. So although this says plus, you have to look at the sign with the number. So I'm adding 5 to both sides. So a negative 5 plus 5, that cancels out. So then on this side, I'm just left with x is equal to 2 plus 5. Gives me 7. Okay, let's try it with subtraction. So draw your line, box your letter. Now what am I going to do?
2 plus 4. Oh, yeah, it's the negative 2 and negative 2.
Well, it's already in negative, so I have to add 2 to both sides. So x is equal to, because those 2's cancel out, 4 plus 2 is 6. Okay. The next one's a little bit difficult because this negative sign actually goes with the x. Okay? So draw your line, box your letter.
Doesn't that just mean that your answer is going to be negative?
show you in a second. So it's a positive 8. So how do I get rid of the 8?
Negative 8.
Negative 8. So do that on both sides. This negative needs to come down with my x. So I have negative x is equal to 5 minus 8, negative 3. So when there's no number in front of my letter, what is it?
Positive.
When there's no number. Not what sign is it? What number is it when there's no number there? No.
Sorry.
How many x's do I have? 1. So there's always a 1 in front of there. So since, imagine this is a negative 1. So if I have a negative 1 times x, I'm going to divide by negative 1 on each side. So x will equal 3. So when you have that negative in front of your x, you end up going to change your answer to the opposite of what it is. Okay? Does that make sense? So divide by negative 1. We'll work on more of those tomorrow. I don't think you'll have any of those today. Okay? Okay, so it seems easy, right? And I'm going to have a lot of you say, do I have to show my work? Yes. You have to draw your line. You have to box your letter. Because, don't write this down, but I want to show you, you're going to get up to problems that are like this. Thank you. Can you do that in your head? No. Okay, so we will be able to solve this by probably winter break. Okay, but you got to solve these ones first, showing your work, and then get to that. Okay, go ahead and cut this out and glue it into your notebook on your next open page. Should be, I think, page 26 about.